After the release of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, there's been a lot of speculation going around about what Kingdom Come Deliverance 3 could actually look like. So in this video, I want to go through some of those theories, dig into what the devs have said, what fans think, and also just give my take on where I think the story might be heading next. All right, so let's get straight to it. At the end of KCD 2, after all the chaos, there is a dialogue where Jan Žižka literally tells Henry, "If you ever want to join me, I'll make you my right hand." That's clearly them setting something up. Also, Sir Radzig straight up says, there's much more to do in the final scene, and we know Warhorse has always talked about the story being in multiple acts. Even back when the first game was on Kickstarter in 2014, they said it was part of a bigger story. So yeah, KCD 3 is 100% on the table. Now here's where things get interesting. Žižka's line is big because it tells us the Hussite Wars are probably next. If you know the history, that war kicks off just a few years after the events of KCD 2. And considering we already have gunpowder weapons, cannons, and all that stuff in KCD 2, it's clear Warhorse is moving into that more brutal, full-scale war period. So one possibility, and honestly the one that makes the most sense, is that Henry actually joins the Hussite rebellion. You'd be fighting with Žižka, not just as a soldier, but possibly leading squads, making decisions that shape the course of the war. And this isn't some small skirmish stuff. It'd be full-on war, with tons of battles, uprisings in important cities like Prague and Kuttenberg, and ambushes just like in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I could see the gameplay being way bigger in scale. Massive battles using wagon fort tactics, full-on siege warfare with early gunpowder weapons, and a morality system where you can either stay loyal to Žižka's ideals or start to question how extreme things are getting. And depending on your choices, you'd get different endings. Maybe you help lead the Hussites to victory, or maybe you betray Žižka and go your own way. That whole route would feel like Henry stepping into real power for the first time. But let's say you don't join Žižka. Let's say Henry chooses loyalty and sticks with Hans Capon instead. So Capon's getting married to Lady Jitka at the end of KCD 2, which means he's getting even deeper into Bohemian politics. He's already running stuff in Ratai and Sasau, and honestly, it's not crazy to think that in KCD 3, Capon becomes one of the main noble figures in the region. Now in that story, Henry becomes his right-hand man. Not just a guard, but someone who helps with diplomacy, noble affairs, estate management, even dealing with uprisings and rebel threats. And it wouldn't be pretty. You'd probably be doing stuff like interrogating people, spying on potential traitors and trying to hold the region under control while everything's falling apart. And the twist is, Capon might change. He starts off kind-hearted and idealistic, but once power kicks in, things get darker. So then the question becomes, do you stay loyal to him? Or do you realize he's not the guy you thought he was? That route would be more about political drama and power moves. Less huge battles, more court intrigue, secret meetings, betrayals, and manipulation. Think medieval Game of Thrones type stuff. Now, the third option? A full game about Father Godwin. Yeah, hear me out. So before he was the drunkard priest we met in KCD 1, the one who somehow got all of the ladies despite being old, Godwin was a mercenary, a real fighter. That Gran has a past, and Warhorse never really dug into it. The setting will likely be in the 1380s. Godwin's young, fighting in wars, dealing with betrayal, heartbreak, and probably something that makes him lose faith entirely. That's when he decides to walk away from it all and become a priest. A prequel like that could go really hard. It'd have big historical battles like the Battle of Kosovo, personal drama, romance, heartbreak, moral choices that mess with your head. And maybe depending on how you play, Godwin ends up becoming a priest or goes full outlaw or just disappears. It would be totally different in tone from the Henry story, but still fit the world perfectly. So yeah, those are the three most realistic paths I think KCD 3 could take. Either Henry joins Žižka and they fight during the Hussite Wars, or he sticks with Capon and gets deep into noble politics and betrayal, or we get a wild prequel that lets us see the world through the eyes of someone like Godwin. Warhorse hasn't said anything official yet, but based on what's in the games, the dev comments, and the way KCD 2 ends, there's definitely more coming. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed, sub for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.